Is just to reiterate, this session is just an overview, so we won't be going to do too much of a deep dive, but we'll give you a good sort of a outline as to how the system's going to work and perform for you. I'm sure post this system you're going to have loads and loads of questions and certainly lots more to do. Okay, so on that note, I think ready, set, go. I'm going to see if this will jump me into the link to start Synergy. Just bear with me. Okay, I can see any questions there at all, Ibuken? Because I'm actually going to start going into it. I can see there's 2 queries coming up on the bottom of my screen, but Ibuken will be taking hold of those. All right, so I'm going to jump into Synergy. I'm just signing in. So the sign in, your name's all automatically set up. I'm hoping now, fingers crossed, passwords all will be provided to you if you need to go onto the test system. So we will be giving you IDs and passwords. So let's just see what's happening on my system at the moment. I think I'm already signed in, so just bear with me, team. And again, do excuse technology because sometimes technology will see what's happening. It's actually taking a bit longer to get in than I would hope. So let me just see. I've got 2 sessions running here, so I'm just quickly go in again. It says you're already logged in. So how about I continue? Now I'm going to log off again. Let me just take you through that again, team. I'm just going to quickly log in again. Because when you log in, you actually see this splash screen. So as soon as you log in, some of you will be logging in using your Windows passwords, your Windows IDs and passwords. Some of you may not. Any issues with login, please, please, please email Gemma, email Ibuken or myself, and we will get that sorted for you. You will be provided, as I said, with a test login to have a go on the system, just like what I'm doing right now. So as soon as you log in, you're welcome with this, you've got this lovely welcome screen, and we're just saying we hope you enjoy using the system. This may appear very tiny on your screen, so I will be sort of shaking my mouse in certain areas. I simply venture across to the right hand corner and I click onto my continue button. And when you click on the continue button, this actually takes me or jumps you straight into Synergy. Now, I will say for you all that everyone's screen and everyone's setup will be different. It's going to vary. So at the moment, you may see a lot more than I'm seeing. So it depends on what sort of role you've got. I've got jump straight in. A bit about the interface. You're going to see all your sort of menu options at the top. So I can actually click onto these arrows I'm doing now. So we'll be looking at some of these features, not all of them. And certainly, after this session, you can have a play around and see what sort of works for you. For the most part today, we really want you to follow the guidelines that we're setting out in this session. So you've got your sort of navigation bar right at the very top. As I open screens, you're going to see I'm going to have work trays that are going to appear. So I will sort of point those out to you. Top right hand corner, I've got a search area. I've got the 3 little dots just here, which we'll be working with to work with advanced search and setting up our preferences. And my screen will vary. Our screens will vary. So we recommend that it takes you into what's called the Synergy Children's Centre screen. So let me just take you to this screen that it's more like our schedule screen that we recommend that you have as your startup. So what we're going to do is move across to the 3 dots at the end. And from the 3 dots, we're going to be looking at person search, advanced person search, and we're going to be looking at this user preferences. So I'm going to click onto user preferences. So what I'm doing right now is just telling you how you can set up your preferences so you actually access the right screen when you go into the system. We're going to look at this user settings area, and you've got an edit button. Now get used to these little bars because they're actually really a fundamental part of the system. So by clicking on edit, it opens up this screen. And if you notice, I've got more buttons that appear. So if I want to cancel, I can. I'm going to change the default desktop instead of my Children's Centre, drop down arrow team, and I'm going to go to the Children's Centre session schedule. And I'm going to just make sure this is on people. It may default to my cases, but we want it on people, and I will point that out a bit later on as to why. You must click on save to save those settings. It tells me saved successfully. Click onto OK. So now I could refresh the screen or log off. Let me just click on actions and refresh. So that actually hasn't refreshed anything. So if we log off, because I've done a change in the preferences, sign back in, continue, you'll notice that my screen's now updated, so you can actually see now the whole entire schedule. And these schedules are all different multicolours, which are quite pretty colours there, and they just represent everybody's or the different children's centres that we have. One thing I forgot to do, just want to put a pause there. Ibuka, I forgot to put the record button on.
I've done it.
Perfect. See, that's why I need you. Sorry. Okay. Sorry, everybody, jumping back. Thank you, Ibuka. Brilliant. Okay, so now at the moment we can see that we're in the Children's Centre, and we will be hopping back to this screen towards the end. So I've just gone through with you how to set up your preferences. You know, just go to the little sort of 3 little dots at the end, the little 3 ellipses there, and work with your user preferences option. The next thing we're going to talk about now is conducting a search, and this is again a very, very important part. Because we've got a nice brand new database, we want to avoid duplicates. We want to ensure that you get great reporting from the system. So it's a fantastic idea to really follow the guidelines when it comes to search, and that's what we're going to go through now. To work with a search, you've got a quick search at the top here, but I recommend you go down to person search, and then I'm going to be deep diving into the advanced person search in a moment. But let's look at that person search. When I click onto person search, it opens up this search window that you can see. And remember earlier I said to you that when you work with the preferences, make sure it's set to people and not my cases or cases. That's because it defaults automatically to people and not my cases. If I hadn't changed that setting in preferences, it would have just automatically defaulted to my cases. We want it on people because that's the search we are going to be conducting. So to conduct a search, many fields here. So we've got about 6. Use as many fields if you're looking for specific people. Make sure you fill in as much information as you can, because this again will prevent any duplicates. It's going to help with your reporting needs. So be specific. I'll give you an example of how the search works. If I'm looking for example, I've got family set up. I created a family called, what was the family I created yesterday? Again, can you remember?
Tolli, is it Toll? I can't remember. Is it T-O-L-L-I? Is it?
You know, I totally forgot that family.
Is it Tolli?
Okay, well, we look at totally, it was something like that. And the fact we're going to use the wildcard on that, we'll do that in a moment. For the moment, let's look for a family called Silver. So if I type Silver and then click on search, you can see what's going to happen. It brings up all my family. I created this good 3 weeks ago. This was my Silver family, and it shows you the different information just here. All right, fields that I've completed, some fields that I haven't completed, for example, middle names. Let's do another search. And if I type, I've got another family called Golden Family. Click on search. Again, you can see I've got my Golden Family. And just so you know, on the left-hand side, every single member or person that you create will be given a sys reference. And this is a blue, you can see it's in blue. And whenever you see these little blue links, it means that it's like hyperlinked into another screen. So for example, if I want to find out a bit more about Cat Golden, I can jump straight into Cat information. We'll be talking about this a bit more, and you can see this has opened a work tray at the very top here, and it's giving me more information, so it's a good opportunity to go in and change. So we will be looking at this certainly a bit later on. All right. The reason I'm talking about it now is that sometimes people click on it in accident and by error, and they just think, oh my God, what am I going to do? So you can just literally just close that tray. So certainly you can see that these are my family members for the Golden Family. All right, I'm going to now talk about the advanced search. So I'm just moving my mouse up to the top right-hand corner, 3 dots, down to advanced person search. And what you're going to see on this screen, you get a lot more information. All right, so there's a lot more. You can see we've got panels, so you really can look for quite a bit. So it's taking me into the search. Again, I want to look for family name. I believe I created a family. I think it was called, I'm going to put apostrophe just here. Now, the percentage sign here, I don't mean apostrophe, I mean percentage. This is a wildcard character, everybody. So the wildcard character allows you to sort of put information between wildcard characters. So I think that family was called T-O-B, I think it was.
T-O-L, probably.
T-O-L. In fact, I'm going to just put T-O. I don't know what the rest was. See, I'm just guessing now. So if we do a wildcard, I'm not sure. I think it began with a T, but also I'm going to put a percentage there. And I've got TO percentage. You can work with further fields. So I can fill in a lot more. Let's just click on the search and see what it comes back with. If it comes back with anything. Look, you see it's brought back anything beginning with an E, TO, and what it ends with. So we've got quite a few.
Tolly.
There it is. That's who I was looking for. So the Tolly families, who I actually created yesterday. So should we just change this? See what happens now. Search, always use the search button, top right. Yay, there they are. Molly, Caroline, and Bill. So there's my Tolly family, but it's also brought out other families within TO and L. So it's actually brought out a few more. TO apostrophe. In fact, I'm just scrolling down because I thought I just spotted a family. Yeah, Toulon. I wondered why. You can see a few more that's pops out. So look, certainly with the advanced search, we can use it for adding more specific information. For example, if I want to look for Molly, search, it's just going to narrow down, and there's my search result with just one. So we would encourage you to work with the different types of searches. You can, as you open your searches very quickly, you can see it's opened up various trays. So look, there's my advanced search. This is my just a sort of person search. You can close out of these windows. If you have too many work trays, it can become rather cluttered, so it's a good idea to close them. Now, in this search, you may say, well, there's a search there that Hester could work with. This search, if I, for example, want to look for TOL, I don't know if I can use a wildcard there. I'm just going to try that, Ibuka, just to see. Do a search. Yes, it comes up with wildcards in there. But what it does, it just, again, it's another way of doing a search. It's brought up quite a bit of information, but it populates the family name field, if you noticed, because that's what I've typed. So it's populated that information there. Let's just try it again with TOLL. And just do another search there. Yep, doesn't like that. So you can see straight away, this is where wildcards are quite precious. You can actually bring out the information that you want. So 3 ways. You've got quick search, person search, and advanced person search that we can work with. Opens up different trays, and we can then just close out the trays that we don't want. Hope that all makes sense. I just want to check with Ibukan. Ibukan, how did you find that? Was that did I miss a skip?
Yeah, that's fine. That's very good.
Brilliant. Yeah, it's a powerful feature, isn't it, the search? And certainly we can be looking with that more on the level 2, other things that you can work with. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. So far we've addressed how you can work with your preferences. Just going to click on the 3 dots, user preferences to set up your screens, and we've tackled the person search, advanced search, and the quick search button at the very top. This is now going to take us on to creating my family. So Ibukan's going to work with me on this one. We're going to create a family. So let's start from that. Remember, when you work with your search, do a proper search, so to make sure that family does not exist. So I'm going to create a family, all right, and I'm going to think of a name. That's why I'm sort of sitting here thinking. I think this family name, Ibukan, I'm kind of liking. I don't know why. I don't want to say Christmas. That's going to depress everybody, isn't it? The Christmas family.
What about Busby family?
The who?
Busby family.
Busby, did you say?
Or Busby?
Busby. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, yeah, let's see if they exist then. So we're gonna. Yesterday we had my family called the Tolly. So we're gonna do Busby. So in the family name, I'm gonna type Busby in here. Yeah. So we type Busby. So do you want to spell with a B-Y or a B or I-E?
With a B-Y.
B-Y, all right. So is there any other fields that you know? Anyone that you exist in that Busby family or not? You're not sure?
I'm not sure.
All right. So we're just to start off by typing the family name Busby in here. So if I click onto the search, we've got Busby.
Oh, she's here.
There is a Busby family. You see how that's really important. So, we can see the numbers here. There's different Busbys going on. Interesting. Oh. So do you still want me to stick with the Busby family, or do you want me to create another set of Busby family, or just go for a totally different name?
Different name entirely.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, tell me if you agree with me. These are the names I've got for family I would like to create. Either Autumn, or bounty,
or Christmas.
or Christmas. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do Christmas. All right. Okay. We're going to type the Christmas family. Sorry. Blame Ibukan if you're not happy with that, but there's no Christmas family. Okay. Let's do this. Remember though, do a search. If you know as many fields as you can, fill those in. Should we do a search for advanced search to see if Christmas is in there? I think so. So we'll do Christmas in there as well. Right, search. Looking like there's no Christmas here, so again, I'm kind of happy with that. Is there anything else you want me to add to that at all, Ibs? Is there? No, I'm actually happy with that. There's, you know, again, you would really do a deep dive if you know there's a family there. Do not, you know, make sure this is a clean record, a nice new record. I'm convinced. I know it's a test system. I know we haven't got a family in there called Christmas. So what we're going to do is one more search. Going to do a search. Yep, spelt that right. No Christmas family. So here we go. There is a create button just on the right hand side. So next to my search, there's the create button that we can use. There are other ways of creating a family. I would say to you, I could go up to actions, create person, but this is the way that we want you to do it. It would too harp in if I'm saying, you know, if you don't agree with me, but you know, I sometimes work with actions, create person, but do your search, create person is right there. So you may as well just work with that. Takes me into what's called the create person screen, and this is where you need to fill in all the relevant fields. So mum's name, Ibukan, name for the mum for Christmas. Who can we have?
Mary.
Merry Christmas. Sorry. Mary or Mary. Merry Christmas.
Mary.
Love it. Okay, so Merry Christmas. She can also be known as let's give her she could also be known as, I don't, okay, I'm being silly, Mary. Gender, we'll say female. Date of birth, Ibukan. If I click on these little dots here, can you see what I'm doing, everybody? It's a nice way of entering the dates. So should we give her, she was born in
24th of December.
Yeah, let's do it. 21st and 1980. All right. It's 1980. So you can type in here, but you can also work with this little button just here, the little date navigation button as well. I think that's all we need for the moment. You can put in the middle name, but I think I'm kind of happy with this. So we've got Merry Christmas, known as Mary, female, and her date of birth was the 21st of December, 1980. If we can remember that. Let's check if they're there. So we're going to click on check. And it looks like, nope, she's not, you know, that person doesn't exist. Because if she did exist, everyone, it would appear just directly underneath. You'll see them listed. Now, here's another thing I want you to think about. If you know there's more members to this family, we are going to click on to create another person, because that will allow me to then create, for example, Mary's husband or any children or any relatives by selecting this. But I would say to you all, if you know that it's just that one person, deselect that button. All right, so once you've created all your family, just remember to deselect, and this is all in your notes, and I will share with you the notes in a moment once we've covered most of this section. So create another person, click onto the far right hand corner, I've got a create button, and you can see straight away Merry Christmas is created. You can see her date of birth, but we haven't added any address or postal code. So just on the left, it opens my list panel and it shows you that information. If I want to create my second party, so we're going to create Mary's.
Happy.
Happy?
Yes.
Christmas. Okay. And he's going to be known as Harry. Yep. All right. So I'm just going to go in and put as much information, the better. Date of birth, Ibukan?
22nd.
Yep. Any particular month? 22nd of December. That's handy. 1980. Happy with that?
That's right.
All right. So again, should we see if Happy Christmas is in there? So we click on check. Nope. No, we can see that person doesn't exist. So we're kind of happy. I'll just again search again. The search has returned nobody, no person. So we know he doesn't exist. I'm going to leave it on create another person because I'm going to create a son or a daughter. So I'm not going to deselect this. We're going to click on to create, and it puts the information on the left-hand side. Last family member I'm going to create is going to be Ibukan. I'm going to leave this one to you. Son, daughter. Yeah,
Nice.
should we who?
Nice.
Nice. These are very unusual names. I think I'm going to work with
Yeah, because I'm wishing everyone a nice Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Gosh, I think yeah, we need it, don't we? Really. So Nice, also known as Nigel. Right. Date of birth.
24th of December.
24th. All yeah, and 2020.
19 or 2020.
2020. No,
19.
2019. Yeah, 2019. So again, we do a check team and you can see what's happening. Nice Christmas is there. Nigel, Mel, you can see everything. We haven't completed the address and postal code, so hold thought, we will be going back to that. We don't want to create another person. We click onto the create button and you can see now we've got all 3 people added into my list panel on the left. How easy was that? That was nice and simple, wasn't it, Ibukan? So we created our family members, completed all the fields that we need, few more fields to add. But what I want you to notice is this. You can see everyone's got a reference number, 86, 861, 862, 863. You can click onto these numbers to go in and it will take you straight into that specific record where you can go in and edit. But we won't do that just yet. Let's hold fire on that for the moment. But I think what's quite nice about this is that you've also got this add button at the very top. So if I decide, okay, I've missed a family member, I need to add it, notice add. So I can actually go in and add a family member if I want to at this stage. I'm clicking on the member. When you click on the member that you want, notice it updates in this area. So Mary, happy, and you can see it's updating accordingly. It tells me there's 3 people. They have no relationships, and hold fire. We will be talking about relationships in a moment. All right. What I want to do is to go into now, far right-hand corner, the edit button. Now, what I find personally with the edit with these buttons, it's very easy to miss this because you can go along and create everything you want, but you have to venture to the top. You must click onto edit to take me into the edit panel. And when I click onto the edit panel, this is now taking me into creating the relationships that I need because we've created mum, dad, and we've created son, but we don't know what relationships they've got. So this is what's taking me nicely into. Add button. Notice it's now extended this toolbar to an address, contact details, and also family group. So we'll be looking at all these 3 in a moment, all right? So let's talk about that relationship. If I want to add the relationship, select on a member. So I've got Mary added just there. It has actually, unfortunately, just lost the edit screen, so I need to go back onto it. As I venture down, notice these panels at the bottom: parents, siblings, current partner, children, and extended relationship. So at the moment, I want to work with the current partner. And the current partner, if I venture to the right, there's an add button at the end there. I kind of almost wish these buttons were right next to it, but right at the end, click on to add. And it's saying, you're adding a new relationship. From the add field, I click on the drop down arrow and we want to select happy. Happy was the one, wasn't it? Just to make sure the date of birth is right. Yeah, because make sure you don't put, so 1980, that's the husband. And he's the partner that we've got set up here. And we want to, you can select allow any party to be selected, but we don't want to do that. We've set this up. You then click on your add button. Watch what happens. Updates my screen. You can see that Mary's now got added, her partner, and it's very tiny on the screen, but this is Happy Christmas, he's been added. The other area I want to go down to, you can see now current partner 1. I'm going to go down to the children, go across to the right, click on to add team, add child. It's going to be, notice only gives me the option of nice. As child, and you can see who are the child's parents in this yellow banner. We've got and Christmas, or you could just add Christmas, Merry Christmas. But we want both of these added, so we're going to make sure that's ticked. Do read options, by the way. Don't just quickly bypass them, nice and slow. Slow and steady wins the race, I've always been told. So we click on to add. And this is coming out nicely now. So you can certainly see that current partner has been added, and you can also see that a nice has been added as well. So partner and child all added in this yellow banner at the top. So that's looking really, really good. I'm happy with all of that. If by chance you need to change anything, notice that on the right hand side, you can actually change, remove information. So you can go in and update or change anything. So at the moment, this is looking really, really good. I'm happy with all of this. You must click on Save Relationship Changes, because if you don't, you're going to lose everything. So when you save it, it's now done the deed. Everything is set up. You also have to go across and look for this little tiny save button as well. So it's kind of two sets of saving you're doing. So everything now is hunky-dory. I'm happy with all of that. Everything's been they're now officially linked. They're now in relationships. Let's talk a bit more about the address feature at the top here. We're going to talk about this address, contacts and family group, and very, very easy, team, very, very easy. If you need to add the address, I've got Mary selected, remember. Click on address. We can now select or search for an address. So we click search for address, click in the postcode area. Ibuka, you know what I'm going to ask you, it's E133AD, I think. E13.
Space.
We have to put spaces in, yes. It is very limited in the addresses at the moment on the test system, right, Ibuka?
Between the 1 and the 3?
Yeah, I've put a space in. Don't just don't type that. That's not going to work. Let me just show you if I click on search. See, no results. You have to put spaces in. Now watch what happens, team.
So between E1 space 3AD.
Yeah, so I've done it the wrong way around. This is a, yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it, really? Yeah, so make sure you get your, if it doesn't work, it's because you've input the postcode incorrectly. I will be deliberately making mistakes so you can see what happens if things go wrong, which is always a good thing. E1 space 3AD. It's now brought up the address. We click onto the done, these lovely orange buttons. I think I've missed a space there, so let me just do it again. I think I missed it. I missed a skip, didn't I? E1 3AD. Search. I didn't select it.
I selected.
Select it. Notice now it appears at the bottom. Then you click onto done. Now it comes up with the address. So remember, you only need to do it for one person, because it then says at the bottom of this panel, change address, and you can just click on these ticks to say that all these 3 family members reside at this address. If it's just one, just deselect. Simple as that. So I think I'm happy with all of that. Everyone's selected.
The date?
Yeah, we need to set the date. So we'll just do today, Ibuka. So notice when I didn't select the date, it would not allow you to go any further, because it's kind of, it's waiting for you to select a date. So we're going to say from date, and then I'll go across, and there's a change button now. If I didn't set a date, you wouldn't see the change button. I now click on to change, and this is looking good, because if you notice in my list area, the address has now been put in. Yeah, it's all updating these fields nicely. So we've dealt with the address. Let's add a contact. Still on Mary. Contact, telephone number, create, this is just the field, but we need to create the new number, the green button. Enter number. Now it has to be 11 digits. I'm just going to enter any number. Do not dial this, by the way, because we may get someone very strange. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right. I don't know. That's about 11 digits there. Create new number. Same process as the when we worked with the address, and you can actually select it for everybody, but I just want to leave it on one person. Ibuka, just out of interest, selecting for all 3 just means it's going to take that number, that mobile number for all 3, which is probably not a cool idea to do. Just make sure you're specific for that number for Mary, for example. If not, that number will belong to Happy and for Nice, but we don't want that, do we?
Yeah, unless it's the landline.
Yeah, unless it's the landline. If it's the landline you entered in there, yes, we can select it to the whole family. But not many people are using their landlines now, are they?
I still have mine.
I only use it for my broadband. Okay, so look, Mary's going to have that number. Click on to change. Fantastic. So I can see at the very top of this grey banner that you've got all the information, and if you look really closely, you may have to sort of go really close to the screen, you'll be able to see that the mobile number is set for Mary. If it's somebody else, click on their name and do exactly the same thing. Remember the edit button, so you just go back in and just, you know, enter the contact details for, you know, that particular person, just create the number. All right, so I won't do that just to save time. Okay, let's go back into edit. So we've added the address, we added contact details for Mary. We now need to look at the family group. We need to group them together because at the moment we don't know who's who belongs with what family member. And you may also think about this, have grandparents or, you know, somebody else involved in the family group. So this is what we click onto family group. It groups all of these 3 members together. The group name is Christmas. The group type is a family group. And we go to the right-hand corner. I'm just moving my mouse very slowly. I click on create group. And it just says, who's part of that group? Who do you want to add to that group? Because at the moment, it's only Mary in that group. Even though we created relationships, we haven't told them that they are part of the Christmas group. So we need to click into the selection boxes. You can see that they're selected. And on the far right-hand corner, we click on add to group, which I'm going to do now. Super. So they now all belong to one group. If you've got other members to add, you can add those, but at the moment, you always have to use this button if you're going to add more and more members. So they're all one group. So whether it's grandparents, auntie, uncle, you need to put into a group, you can do that. You have got that opportunity. So there you have it. Everybody's created. We looked at creating the relationships. We looked at adding all their contact details. I'll just reiterate again. You can click on the edit button, takes you back into this screen where you can go in and add more information if you need to. So that was creating relationships. We added the address details, and what I want to do now is just quickly show you how to. I want to show you something I didn't point out at the very beginning, which I totally sort of slipped my mind, is to show you the document that we've created for you. So just bear with me as I flick in. You'll be getting a copy of this manual. Just opening it now. This is the guide. Some people have received it already, and it covers everything that we've spoken about. I've broken it into sections. We talked about synergy, preferences, conducting a search, creating family relationships. So let me just take you down to all of that is outlined nicely for you. You've got no excuses now. And remember, we're there for you at the same time. So I've sort of pointed everything that you need to think about. So I would recommend, if you get a chance, please go through it. We don't want you missing skips, only because it's a nice system. We want to make sure it's functional, and you'll be able to do great reporting with it at the same time. So it just tells you everything. Searches. The reason I've put this screen in is because it's really important to do a thorough search. So we keep the database. So we haven't got no duplicates with families. We've spoken about how to create a family. I've gone through how to add your family names. Just give you an idea. We've done quite a bit. We've spoken about creating those relationships. Okay, it's all listed for you. And I'm hoping this document will kind of be a self-learning tool as well. All right, we've spoken about how to set up those relationships and how to get into these screens. We spoke about setting up the addresses, looking for the address, selecting family members. There's quite a bit, isn't there, to it? And you can see, just taking you through, we looked at contacts team, adding all those contacts. And I'm going to kind of pause at this point because I think we'll have a break now.
Esther, before we have a break.
Nice. So go ahead.
Susan.
We're not going to break just yet. Let me just do 2 ticks, Suzanne, just 2 ticks.
Okay.
Give me a few minutes. We're going to talk about registering a family. What I want to do now is just quickly minimize this team. Just want to minimize everything. Just minimize. Just want to go back in. And I just want to show my face. Okay, I'll shut up now. And yeah.
I've got Susan on the line.
Suzanne?
Right, can I just ask, just a very quick one? So when you're linking the relationship, so you linked, you went onto that first screen of linking Mary or linking the child. Now, I notice it gives the option of linking that child to both parents or just mum.
Correct.
But it doesn't seem to give the option to link to maybe just dad.
Actually,
that was... have the option of linking to both parents.
Yeah, it's
linking to mum.
Yes, it's possible. What happened is, if you notice, we're actually working on the mom.
That's exactly.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
Yes.
So if we select the dad, we can link it to the dad directly only.
Correct.
Okay, because often that sometimes happens, you know, that dad is the link and not mum, even though we tend to always work around the fact that actually mum's the main lead of the family or whatever. But as long as the option is there, that
I'm happy to go back in and show you that if you want me to quickly flick into it and have a look. Do you want me to do that before?
Really useful. I'm just thinking, I think just to cover options. Or
let me just flick back into that. Yeah,
okay.
Just bear with me. Yeah, and that's okay. Bear with us, everybody. That's a really good question. So let's select dad. Okay, so this is dad. Make sure it's right one actually. This is dad, wasn't it? Dad was 1980. Happy. So I'm going to click on Suzanne. I'll click on the edit button here just to see if we can deal with that question that you said. And then you said it was a family group.
No. The go back to. Sorry, let me just cancel relationship.
Okay, so I'm on dad, just so you can see.
Yes. So if you go down,
so we can see the relationships just here. So we've got current partner. Yes.
You can remove the actual child relationship.
Let's do that. So we'll remove the child relationship here.
And hide it again, yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to remove it. Just make sure it's there. Now I'm going to add it again. I'm on dad this time.
Yes, when you add it again.
Okay, let's just cancel that because that was a really good question that you said there. It says remove child, right? We're on dad. Then we've got current partner, child. I'm going back into it, Ibukan, just so we see, because we may have to take that one offline. It doesn't show me dad. So let's just have a quick double check again, Suzanne. So just stay there in terms of, so we've got current partner, Mary. We've got the child relationship here. So remove the child. I'm just going to remove this. In fact, what I'd probably need to do is save this relationship. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking there. So there's that's been removed now. All right, just to make sure. It's come up with a derived stepchild. I don't know why it's done that. So let's just close this. Just doing it again. Yeah, it just looks a bit. It's gone a little bit because it's got this now. Look. So I'm not actually happy with that. Excuse the pun. I know it's come up.
Now, if you go back to Mary.
Yeah, let's go back to Mary and just have a look at what this is looking like. So we're back on Mary.
We need to edit it.
Yeah, let's edit Mary and just go back. So I can see child.
Yeah, so take out.
Let's remove that from here. So I'm going to remove
child from Mary.
Child here. Right, so we've removed the child. Just make sure it's not there. Just want to make sure child is not there. So no child, we can see that.
You save it first.
Let's save it. Save again. I didn't save up here actually.
Yeah, and you know.
Now we'll go back to happy. This has all been recorded, so don't worry. So now we can see that child there. We add. Let's see if it works now.
That's nice.
Yeah, there you go. Right, so it says who are the child's parents? Christmas. Yeah, just add Christmas. You can do this, just add, but we can see who are the child's parents, or you could just add Happy Christmas. Just very quickly, Suzanne, just jump back in. Is that what your is that dealt with your query?
Yeah. I'm just thinking sometimes on occasions, particularly if we get families that you know, is a guardianship order or there's some legal wrangling going on, or you know, mum's deceased or whatever. It's
sure.
Often the option is we need to change the relationship from the child to one or the other parent, or if it's foster parents that then come on the scene, we need to be able to take the link off from the biological family to the foster parents. It's about those kind of anomalies that can actually happen in the type of work that we do.
Yeah, that was a great question, Suzanne. Thanks for pulling that out. I would say because you're all going to get your test logins and IDs, do mess around with things like this. You see, what I missed there, why it didn't work, is because you remember I said earlier, you've got these tiny little save little buttons you can't quite see, because I clicked on save relationship, but I forgot to do this one.
Right.
So it sort of threw it again. So I'm finding with the system, it's a little attention to details that sometimes, you know, and that's why I recommend going into the system, really testing it out, really, you know, making sure it works for you, because it's a little thing. Don't you find that, Ibuken, as well, that you've missed a little skip and you think, oh, why did it go wrong? But sometimes you want it to go wrong as well, because you kind of go back and, you know, it's a good way of remembering it, and it fixes things. So I hope that helped. Great question. Thanks for asking that.
No problem.
All right.
Thank you.
On that note, I'm going to set my phone to 10 minutes. I'm going to all you need to do is mute your microphones and your cameras, and then we give it 10 minutes. Right, it's now 10:46.
I'll get my cup of tea.
And yeah, I think 10:46. Yeah, let's come back at 11. Resume at 11 o'clock. Yeah, that'll be good. Everyone go get a nice cup of tea. All right. And thanks for everything so far, and I'll see you in 10 minutes.
See you 10.
Okay, just to reiterate what we covered so far, so we've done quite a bit. The rest is pretty straightforward, so we will be taking your questions towards the end. So the next section, the next area I'd like to go through with you, team, is going to be, if I can just quickly flick into this document. I hope you can see it on my screen at the moment, but if I can just go down to, let's drop me down to about 50. In fact, let's go down. So we've looked at creating the relationships, registering a family is what we're going to be covering next. So we're going to be covering registering a family at the Children's Centre, all right? And that was going to then take us into working with creating your activities. So without any further ado, let's get started. And
Esther?
Yes, can you see my screen?
Denise would like to ask a question.
Denise, yeah, go ahead, Denise. Okay, if it's not working, do you want to type it in the chat? Is the chat working, Denise?
No, actually, I don't have any question. I just forgot to click it. Sorry about it.
It's so easy to do, actually. Yeah, if you hands up, we're going to just presume that you have to click it again. Yeah, if you're not used to Teams, to be fair, that's fine. That's fine. So we'll get going on this. All right then. Okay. Excuse my screen just jumping around. We're looking at registering a family next, team, and that's what we're going to. Just changing my screen. I don't want to log out. Stay logged in. After a while, it does log you out the system. I'm not quite sure what the time is on that time frame for logging out. Maybe about 10 minutes or so. All right. So let's just close down, because I've got quite a few trays here that are open. So I'm going to just kind of close some of these trays. Right, so quite a few trays open. Close all trays. So at the moment I've got nothing open on my screen. Now I'm going to look at registering my family. And to do that, in the manual I've added, you have to have your desktop, your home screen open. So you must have something open. My children center, that must be open, because if you don't have that open, the screen does tend to error. So if I went into event, because that's where you go, add form. If you didn't have the screen open, let me just show you. It may happen. Add form. You're going to get an error screen that comes up. So do ensure, I'm going to dismiss all of this, that you have got something open. I've got my children center session schedule open. Right. So to register my family from the desktop, from the event this time, we're going to the event ID here, and we're going to go to home. Right, so sorry, event, add form, beg your pardon. It opens up my select templates dialog box here, and I want to select in this area, I'm looking to select this family centre registration option. I then go across to the CC Reg, and from there, I click onto the next button. It opens up my Hackney Children's Centre registration form. You can see what's happening here, and then you can click onto your search, because you can now look for the family that you want to register. So we're going to go for our Christmas family. So I can type in Christmas there, click onto search. And you can see it's brought out the 3 members of that family. What you want to do is make sure it's on people, by the way, and you can see because I set that default in my preferences to people, that's why it's not showing my cases. It normally defaults to this. It's on people because that's what we set the preference to. So there's my family members. You don't want to be clicking on the plus. If you click on the number, you see it will automatically click on any of these, add those 3 members to the area at the bottom. The X will close out of them. Just get rid of them. So you can just click in any field here. Here are my 3 members that I want to add. Click onto my Done button. You can see they're now added into the concerning field. Assign the team, drop-down arrow, data monitoring officers. It's now pre-populating everything. You don't need to worry too much about this. And then underneath, you've got select your children's centre, click on the drop-down arrow, data select Anne Taylor, select the start date. Again, you can click on the little button just here, the date navigator button, select a date, or just type the date in. You're welcome to type that date in, that will work as well. So I've completed all my fields. I now click onto the accept button and it starts loading the information. So I'll just give it a while. It now comes back with the form successfully added, which I actually want to see. Click onto OK. And it loads. Brilliant. You can see this looks looking great. Hackney Children's Centre registration form. Now this form has many panels, and I just want to flip back into my document again just to show you a bit more, because this is all outlined in my document. Just bear with me if I can drop me into it. It seems to kind of disappear. Here it's it. So with the document I've got open, I've spoken about registering your family. This is all the bit we've just gone through. Remember people, so it's all documented for you. Right, so it's all listed. This is what we've done so far. Form added. Now, the reason I'm taking you into this document is because will expand on this a bit later on, but certainly you can see the family registration forms where you're taking the information from. So, you know, copies here, registration form, information for health visiting service as well. So this is the information you need to certainly make sure you've got to hand. Now, we've put a note here. Please ensure you complete as many panels as possible. Really, really important. Now, what you will see in a moment, you've got all these different panels that I've kind of put to a separate area. They're all numbered, but they're not numbered in any particular order. So you may see 8 before 9. So don't think, oh my, what's happening here? It's just the way this it is at the moment. So I'm sure it's something that may possibly change, but they're no in particular order. These are all the panels that we want to ensure that you fill in. So you've got quite a few panels to look at. So I have said there are various panels and not all need to be completed, but you need to make sure that your next step panel, which is not numbered, you'll come across this in a moment, this panel, next step, approved registration, must be completed for the form. And the good thing is you can go back in and add information if you need to, so don't worry too much about it. All right, so let me just flick back into Synergy. Okay, screen should look like mine now. This is a form. Each family member has their own panels. What I mean by that is that personal details 3 for Mary, there's a personal details 3 for Happy, there's a personal details 3 for Nice as well. So everyone's got their own panel. So you can go in and click on the edit buttons again, and any information that you need to add in, certainly you can do it from this stage. So, you know, if for example Mary's got a middle name of Joy, yeah, you can add that in. You must make sure though with these panels that where you've got the information, notice it opens up a cancel and a save. So cancel obviously will take me back to where I was, save to save the information, so it's saving Joy's middle name. So you just work through each panel. I'm not going to go through everything at the moment. I'm just going to quickly show you the panels that you've got, which I've outlined. So you've got address ones, you've got the numbers. You see the numbers I'm pointing to?
Esther.
Numbered. Go ahead,
Esther.
Ibuka.
You know, we can also look at that panel 6.
Oh, let's go down to that. So I'm scrolling down now to panel 6.
Yeah. So you know, it has the contact details.
Yeah, let's look through it because it's not necessarily in a particular number. So 5. Tell me if I'm going
6.
too fast. Here we go. Yeah, panel 6
Yes.
from here.
This panel we can add email address and other things as well.
Yeah,
add row.
Okay, so I'm going to do it for Mary's. Edit. Or you can see her mobile numbers in there. So let's say, for example, we have got one for Happy. Edit.
An add row.
Go, just so you can see. And then what we need to do is enter.
Email address.
You can do that as well. But we can do you want to do email address, did you say?
Yes.
Yeah. As you work all the way across. There's the main email address.
Yes.
Select it in there. You can put any notes that you want to. Contact type now. Email. There you go.
Type the email.
And let's say happy.com. I don't know.
Happy at Christmas.
Happy at Christmas. You said it, Ibukan. Happy at Christmas.
.com.
So we can add the information. Now, what's really important, let's see if it works here now. You have to save. And just to reiterate, Ibukan, the main email address, does that mean that all the letters information will go to this email address for?
No, that's for Happy. That's his point, yes.
So it's specific for everybody. So if we click on save now, save successfully. All right. So you need to make sure you save. If you don't save, it's going to say you've got some information. It won't save the information. It will say you haven't sort of completed. So you need to go through all your panels again. So that's good. I'm happy with all of that. Excuse the pun.
And also for panel 7.
Yep, going down to panel 7.
You can always the consent to receive mail shots and text.
So you can see consent to receive mail shots. We can see that there. So if we want them to have mail shots, do you send out quite a few? So you can select these information, or consent to receive phone calls. Or consent to receive text. There you go. You can do things like that. Yep. Consent to receive letters, and then save. So really work through and go through all of these panels, and they're rather a lot, but once you've done it, it's there, isn't it? It's there. Employment, as I go through, ethnicity, pregnancy details, and any additional information. Take your time and work through. The more information, the better, because it's going to be so much easier for reporting purposes. As I scroll through now, I'm going to quickly sort of go all the way to the end. Next step, this is where you see the approval registration. And so for the approval registration, you need to approve everybody. So this is Mary, edit, select, okay, save. You can save it all at the end, I noticed as well, Ibukan. Yeah. You see, select, all right, save, or you can do them individually. I think it's better to save them individually, which I'll show you the moment, that save button at the top, edit, select. There's a save at the top here as well. The reason I say that is because you know that you've completed everything for each individual. So now everybody's saved, everything's approved, right? Ticks all selected, happy with everything there. So once you've done all of this, we're going to go up to the actions menu, all right? And from actions, this is where you select complete. But notice you've got other menu options as well. So actions will take me to edit, refresh. You can even print preview the form. Yeah, it looks quite nice actually, print previewed. There you go. So if you need to print preview it, it's there for you. So actions is anything to do with this form: edit, refresh, print preview, batch print, reassign. So it's all there, deleted entries. But we're going to go to this complete. Remember, it's a new system. We're still working on areas. I just wanted to point out to you that any new area we will be sending out like quick cards so you can see how it works. Today it's just a review so you can see what's happened. So selected, registered, family registered now, form completed. Really happy with that. Ibukan, have I missed a skip?
No, at all.
All of that?
Yes, you've done everything.
Right, okay. Final section, you'll be happy to know. And let's talk about creating an activity and an event. All right, it's one of my favourite sections, actually. I quite enjoy doing this. So I'm going to work with Ibukan on this. We're going to create an event for you. Before I dip into creating the event, what I want to share with you is back into my document that you're going to be getting a copy of. We've done all of this. Excuse me, scrolling through rather quickly. You can see once you get used to it, it's all there, all documented for you. So we've got no excuses, have we? We saved our form. Created an activity and event. I just want to dip to the very last page on here because 103 I want to go to. because what we've done when we're creating an activity, Ibucon and Gem have kindly provided the project type and activities. So they've gone through this thoroughly, because you need to stick to this script, to this agenda, because you've got every single project now, project type, and the activity sits nicely within that project type. So don't make it up. You need to select the right project type with the right activity and a brief description. I'm guessing if you need to add anything, Ibucon, it goes through yourself, I'm presuming, or Gemma, if you do need to add at all, or can people, I mean, we'll save that towards the end. But for now, you can see that we've got all the different types of activities here. So you've got, for example, nutrition and exercise, and there's a Henry program there. All right. So I'm just going to make a note of that one. So we've got Henry, we've got adult exercise class. Yeah. So we've got quite a few there. So make sure that they sit within the right area, and they're all documented in this document for you. So let me just flick back again, team. Let's talk about creating activity. Let's go. So from the desktop, you've got your Children's Centre open. You can see this already open. If it's not open, make sure it's open. And what we're going to do is go up to desktop, and we're looking for My Children's Centre. It's just here, this option. Opens up your Children's Centre. You can see that your Children's Centre name is now selected. It's in blue. It's highlighted. I click onto that link. It starts loading the screen, and you get a screen very similar to this. All right. What you'll see now is all the information of that Children's Centre, and on the left-hand side, this is what I'm looking for: the Children's Centre projects. So when I click on this, what it's done is opened up every single project that mirrors the list in the back of the manual that you just saw. So you can see straight away, I've got one for nutrition here. That's the one I actually just spotted. I should see that. Look, nutrition and exercise. So if I click on nutrition and exercise, Ibucon, you happy for me to use nutrition and exercise?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Let's do that.
Yes,
Hope nobody gets hungry though. Okay, so for nutrition and exercise, it's opened that screen. Now, just one thing I want to point out, sometimes this could happen. You think, where's my screen gone? But it's really just hidden at the top. You just need to scroll all the way back up. When you select nutrition and exercise, it's opened up the project. You can go in if you decide to change. Look, you've got an edit project button here, so I can go in and set the activity from here. It will change anything, but I'm going to cancel. Just quickly show you at the moment. You can set activity also from this area, but also bear in mind, look at the list area. Yeah, so there's a few current activities there and an inactive activity. We're going to create our own. So you can see Anne Taylor's at the top. The project is nutrition and exercise. Excuse me, my mouse is a bit funny at the moment. I think the batteries are running out. The activity drop-down arrow, and we're going to go for, there's a Henry project, wasn't there? Yes. If I scroll down, if I press an H here, it does take you down to, there we go, Henry program. I think we can, that was one that fitted in nicely. So let's go for Henry program. From date, so I'm going to select from today, and we're going to end it to, now it's important to actually fill this in, because as I discovered yesterday, I put from date and to date is the same. I put today, and it went a bit skewy, didn't it, yesterday, Ibucon? So I'm actually making sure today that I set a from date and to date. Also, you need to select this, because I think I forgot that.
Yeah, the reason why is at times you want to have probably like a 7-week or probably a period. You know, at times every program can last 8 weeks.
Sure.
So you know that from the beginning, starting today till your 8 weeks, maybe end of December. So you have the period being set.
Brilliant. Okay. So activity, thank you, Ibucon. From date to date, active. You then click onto this add activity button. So we click on add activity. There you go. Look what's happened at the top here in this middle list area. Henry program. You can see my dates set. All right. We've got no dates added yet, so we're going to be looking at this part in a moment. But before we do that, do take stock. Notice the information. Nutrition and exercise, Henry program, and there's the period we've set it for. You need to now complete this area. You've got the session details. So if we click on to edit, it now opens this panel. We can set a capacity. So if I say I want 15, the location is going to be in the Blossom. We could go to community hall. You can add child capacity. We can add, select these information if possible. We'll go chargeable. So it's chargeable as well, we'll say for this one. I then can go down to the public area and select if it's a public session, any public description. This is what the public will see, get healthy. I don't know, you can put information. This is what they would see. So you don't have to do this. These aren't mandatory. Mandatory normally has the asterisk next to it. Any notes, please bring along your skipping ropes. Sorry, I'm just being silly. Don't bring along your trampoline. All right. Oh dear, you've got to laugh, haven't you? Okay, right. Make sure you save. So that's saving this panel as well. If I now need to add the activity workers, I click onto this edit panel, and then I could just add row, and we're going to select someone. Who can I select? IB. Should we go for
Susan?
Susan. Is that the surname, or because I'm looking at surnames here? So keep going. You tell me when to stop.
Oh, she's not there.
Oh, sorry, Susan, if you're online. There's a Susan there though. Is there anyone else?
Okay. There's actually Carmichael, but she's not there. All right, we'll go.
Oh, sorry, Susan. we were hoping you were there. We'll make sure we add you after. Who could we have? Did you say someone, Susan? Who could we add?
All right, we had
Oh, that's funny.
Denise.
Right, I'm going to go for. Did you say Denise? Did you say? Should we just put me?
All right, you then.
Let's just put me. As I said, bring the skipping rope. I'll be showing everyone to skip after this session, I tell you. All right, look, we could just click onto the save button here. So we can select save. I'm saved successfully there. This is quite nice. You've got a waiting list area, and you can click onto the edit here, and you can go in and add row, and you can search for the family. Our family is called Christmas. Oh, in fact, I won't put the Christmas family. Let's put Silver family. I'm going to add the Silver family. I'm going to add Shelley. You see, I could just add Shelley onto that waiting list. I could look for another family. We've got Goggins family. These names are great, aren't they? You can search, and I'm going to add. I've got two Shelleys, haven't I? So I'm going to put got Shelley Goggins as well. That's interesting. I'm going to put Stephen on there. Family name, please, IB. Give me your family name.
Gold.
Gold, yeah, Gold. You love the Gold family, don't you?
It's Christmas.
Oh, okay. What have I missed there? It's this loading. Oh, don't lock on me. Don't do this. The request could not be. Okay, well, all right. Please don't do this. I'm gonna down there just you to say. Okay. Look, we've still got them. So look, we've got Shelley, Silver, and Stephen. Don't know what happened there, but I do want to push it in case it crashes out. We don't want that happening today. Trust me, it's been brilliant at the moment. So I'm going to save that waiting list. All right, so then I added to the waiting list. Just so you know, when you work with that waiting list, so I've added everybody, we filled everything in, the capacities, etc., location, all done nicely. We're going to add the dates in a moment, but you have got the Henry program. This is where you'd find the waiting list, by the way. We'll go back to that. But this Henry program is really where you see the waiting lists area, just at the bottom here. Can you see? You've got the waiting list, and this is where you go in. I haven't put my dates in as yet, and select adding the members to that waiting list. But let's save that and come back to it. All right, let's just make sure. I'm going to cancel there because we haven't really gone into it. Let's go back into it. It was this one, wasn't it? All right, here's my sessions, but I haven't added the dates yet, so I think I just missed the date information there, haven't I?
Yes.
That was silly of me to do that, really. So can I just do it from here?
I think you could go up.
I just think really just here. I can see the dates just here, but I just want to go and generate those dates. I think it's generated the dates, but it's generated them. Here we go. It was the last program in that list. It was this one. Look, you've got family cooking. Go back. Henry program. So this is in order. Look, this was my program, and it's saying, look, I haven't got the dates added. So now I say add dates. It opens up my add session dates area. You've got your start date, okay, which we've got today. You can end it after occurrences. So we can say that after 5 occurrences, or you can set an end by date. Because should we do 10 or 5? Do you think 5 is good enough?
Let's go with 6 because of the period. 6, yes.
All right. So we've got occurrences after 6. Session time. Should we just go for? It's a 24-hour clock, so we just go for
10 o'clock.
Not 10 o'clock. 10 a.m. Yep. 10 until
12.
You can type these in till midday. There you go. You can type it in. You can see a duration of 2 hours there. So look, all of this completed. Start, end by. You can use that, but I prefer occurrences personally. Start and end, and then we click on next. Set your recurrence pattern: daily, weekly, monthly. So you can see this updates accordingly. So I'm going to leave it on weekly, and every, should we say, Thursday. We generate the dates, and you can see it's set your recurrence dates. Now, be mindful of this because you don't want a date falling on a day that perhaps your centre is going to be closed or it's a bank holiday. So do check your dates, and any dates that you shouldn't be in there, just simply go down to the remove date button. Just remove it. Right. So check your dates, remove any that you don't want by simply clicking onto it and clicking onto your remove date option here. So you can see it's there and you just remove it. I'm happy with everything. Nothing's falling on Christmas, so we're going to click on the create dates. And here you have it. There you go. You can see all your programs. These are my sessions. There's a session today. There you go. I've got a session coming up today. Have we missed it?
It's not ready.
It's not actually ready. So look, straight away, I know we still need to now go and add the people to these sessions, but there's all my sessions. All right. It's nice and easy. So we've added our dates. I'm now going to go up to the schedule, because the next stage, what we're going to do, team, is to add the attendees to our schedule. So let's do that now. From the Children's Centre session schedule, you need to refresh. Right, so I'm going to refresh, actions refresh. Everything's updated. Let's look at today, because I've got a session added for today. Is it really Thursday today? That's scary. It's this Henry program, isn't it? Oh no, today's the 29th. So it's the exercise, I was going to say. I've got children's exercise session. It wasn't that one. It was this one, wasn't it?
Yes.
And straight away, you can see my session. And Anne Taylor's always in purple, one of my favourite colours. You can see the 10 till 12. It's on the 29th. But we've got no attendees. No one's been invited, booked. You know, no one's paid anything. So this is the important part. Click on the blue link. Opens up that session. Here's all the information for it. Okay, so we can see there, it's the Henry program. Right, let's make sure I get the right one. So now I need to go in and add, there's my waiting list. So I now need to start adding my attendees. Can you see the waiting list is there as well at the end? So to add my waiting list, I go up to Children's Centre, and notice you've got all these options: add project, edit, add activity, edit. And we want to, have I gone into the wrong one actually? I think I have. I think it was Children's Centre, add people. Where's my add people? I think I need to make sure I've clicked onto the right one.
Let's go back to the scheduler.
Yeah, just go back here. There you go. There we go. Let's load it here. Children's Centre, and you can see it's changed now. So that was interesting. When you go too deep into it, you need to go back to your schedule, and then Children's Centre, you can see this menu's changed. So here you can cancel, delete, edit projects, add activities. There's a lot of information here. Are we allowing people to add activities though? I thought that's going to be controlled through the administrators. So again, maybe you may not see all these menu options, but at the moment I can see everything. So we want to add people. We're going to add the Christmas family. So just type Christmas. Works exactly the same as when you were doing your search. You can see it's so easy once you know it. Select the names. I don't actually want nice there. She's too young. So I'm just removing. These are the people we're going to add. We can add more members as well. Should we go for our gold family? Let's see what's happened to gold. Why did they go a bit funny on us? Here we go. Gold's working now. So we want Raki's going to be there. Kevin as well. So you can see we're just adding people to the sessions. Click on to done. You see all what's happening. All my family have been added. Here we go. You can see them in the middle list here. All my participants. I can click onto participant now, just in the middle. And notice I've selected Happy Christmas. You need to now decide, and you're going to really need to have some sort of process here. I need to click on the edit button, by the way, how you're going to make this work for your children's centre. So at the moment, I can say I want to book this specific person, Happy, and I can update. I can say it's paid for and update. But a quicker way, if you've got a long list in this list area, is to switch over to bulk mode. I'll quickly update this one so you can see what's going to happen. So straight away, you can see Happy Christmas in the list there, and it's got booked and paid. I'm now going to switch into what's called bulk mode. So let's just click onto Mary, for example. I'll click onto edit, switch to bulk mode. And when I click to bulk mode, instead of working individually with everybody, we can work with select all participants. I can say all participants booked and paid, and then select bulk updates. If you notice in the middle list panel, you can see the B and the P alongside each name. All right, so that's a nice quick way. You've also got these options, email, but these options we're still working with. So hold fire, you will see information coming through on all of this. So I won't be demonstrating this part today. So we can see everything's worked nicely on this. I'm happy. I'm going to now go back to the Children's Centre. Just want to quickly click on this Henry programme, just very quickly, by the way. Good idea to go back to your waiting list here, because I've got people waiting. So if I do need to add anyone to this waiting list on this programme, go back to your waiting list, edit, select the people on that waiting list, you see, and you need to select move. When you click on move, you can move them into the session that you want them to attend. All right, so if I want to move them into the session for, I don't know, any of these really, team, it's in a particular order. Let's say you could actually select the session you want them to be booked onto. All right, so I mean, that's quite useful, and I can just save that. Okay, so let's go back to our, close this window, back to the session. Let's look at it now. Do a quick refresh. Always good to do a quick refresh.
Already.
Yeah, I can see it's done it, but sometimes, you know, I always have in the habit of doing that because you may change it and not realise. But I just got to have, I can see it's updated it, but it's just the kind of thing that I do. You don't have to, as Ibukan said, but I can see that it's updated the information. You've got now attended, invited, and there's my booked for, paid for. There's my notes. Please bring along your skipping skipping rope, that should be. I could go and edit that, and additional attendance, and there's my participants. All right, these are all my participants just here. So I mean, that's really nice and easy. I can see there's an edit participants at the top there, so you can go in and work with these options here and edit your participants from the very top area at the same time. So there's some nice little features that you really need to go in and have a look at to get a thorough deep dive. This is just a sort of general overview. It's a lot of information we've got to go through, but I think that it's given you, I'm hoping it's given you an overview as to how you can work with the system. So here we go. This is what we've just been covering, working with your activities and all the programs that have been set. Oh, and by the way, if you see these exclamation marks, this is really just to do with the total capacity of the room. There's a way of going in and just changing that. I won't really cover that today, but you can go into your menu and select that Children's Centre information and change the capacity of rooms then. And we will be documenting little screens and options by sending out some quick reference guidance around that. So for today, we're just really covering the very, very basics for you. So on that note, have I completed everything? I think I have. And I think I'm going to now flick over to the screen. Is there anything, IB, that you want to talk about whilst I'm still on the screen?
No, it's all done. Yes, we've done everything.
I think we've covered everything. I really do. So let me just flick back over to see your happy faces. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. Yeah, because we are recording, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so feel free to switch on your videos if you want to, or what we're going to do now is take questions. If your chat's working, click onto your chat. But how we'll let this work, this part, if you don't mind, is that if we can raise your hand, keep your microphones muted, and you simply click onto the raise hand option. If you're not sure where that is, I don't know if you want you to share your screen, but it's the very top. Raise your hand, and we'll take questions from raising your hand, and Ibukan will kindly oblige as to those questions that you may have. So I can see a question came in from. Can you see any questions there, IB, coming in?
I can see hands up from Shay. Is it Shay?
Sorry if you're pronouncing your name wrong. So yeah, is it Shay? Shay, do you want to take your microphone off and share your question with us? Excuse technology sometimes. If your microphone's not working, put it into the chat. I'm just going to have a look at the chat and monitor at the same time. Okay, Shay, have you got a question? Okay, I can see there was a question earlier. No, I think that was done already. Suzanne Carmichael, Suzanne, I can see you said, can I ask whether you can add an event in retrospect? I can see that question's come up.
Yeah, I mean, IB answered it because sometimes, you know, we can on the day in a stand play, you think, oh yes, that could have been a, you know, okay. Safety. It could have been a, you know, something that's not in the event, and you want to add it. So can you just add in retrospect the date and the time? So IB says you can, so that's fine.
Thanks, IB. Brilliant. Thank you so much. Thanks for your questions. Shay, you got your hand up. Sorry, is your mic not working, or do you want to mute and let's hear you? Or put something in the chat. This is very. Can you see anything there? Just seeing. Okay, let's see. Thank you. Oopsie.
Yes, it does. It starts. In fact, on Monday. Is it Monday or tomorrow? I think it's tomorrow. The last day.
Tomorrow's the. Yes, yeah.
It starts. This actual synergy will be live from next week Thursday. Is it on the 4th?
Yes, let's just check the diaries. It's going live next week, team. Yeah, we've.
Next week Wednesday. It's gonna go live.
Looking where the dates are. Yeah, next week Wednesday is the 4th, IB.
Yes, next week Wednesday is gonna go live, and the last day to enter onto eStart will be on Monday, the 2nd. So eStart will cease from Monday.
Gosh, yeah. It's gonna be happy days, isn't it? You're more than welcome. Thank you, Shay. Thank you very much. Any other questions? Because we will be staying on for the next a further 5 minutes or so. But Shay, you can put your hands down. Just tap on that. It's so easy to have that hands up all the time. Any other questions? Everybody happy then? I'm presuming everyone's happy with what they've received. Just so you know, you will be getting your documentation hopefully by tomorrow, and all your IDs. I suggest that you practice. I can see questions coming in. Yeah. Just wait for another question to come through. I think everyone's getting hungry. Is there any level 2 training? In answer to that, there is. It's not going to be as long as this session. It's literally going to be covering, just so you all know that's on the session, just the sort of basic reporting, well, not basic, the reporting side, but it really is not going to be a 2-hour session like today. So you, the level 2 is all about reporting, but I'm telling you this, it's such a powerful system. There's so much to see, to know about it. There really is. I've discovered that, IB, that there will be further sessions for sure. So for the moment, this is going to give you a good start to get on going with it. But you will definitely have more questions for us. There'll definitely be more sessions. There'll definitely be more writing that needs to be done around this. So I think it's going to be a really great system. I think you're going to be happy with it.
Yeah, as time goes on, we get to understand it more and find out more things you can do.
Do you know what I like about it, IB? I like about it because it's very simple. You know, the screens are quite nice and straightforward. It's really simple. And once you know those little nuances, those little things that you're doing, it becomes straightforward.
You know, one thing, Esther, because it's a new system, and transiting from eStart to Synergy will be a bit. Yes,
it will take getting used to. We've got another question that's popped up here. Hi there, Zainab. How can we access the new system, the new system for the first time? So I guess that's the live system.
The new system, basically, you'll be giving your username and password, and I think, is it today, Esther?
The live system. I don't know, Jody. I can see you online there. Do you know anything about that?
You have access to the test environment as well.
Yeah, I'm going to hop Jody in. Jody, when do you know anything about the live system? Can you sort of share with us? Jody, it works with our team on the project. So any help there, Jody, with that?
I'm not sure because Chris is not here at the moment, but I know we've got logins just for the test system. In terms of live logins, I'm sure we'll get an update in the next couple of days. Potentially speaking to Annette this afternoon, so hope to have some more information then.
Okay, great. So just hold on until you hear our comms around that, and we'll sort of keep you informed. Again, you've got access to all our emails, myself, Ibukan, and Gemma as well as Joss. Any more questions coming in? I see quite a few. I can hear quite a few pings going on here. Just having a look. You're welcome. Is there any level 2? We've said that one. I had it already. Thank you. Okay, fantastic. I think that seems like it's it. No more hands up. I want to take this time to thank you all, and thank you all for your patience. I know we've been going back and forth with this, but that's just the way it is with the systems. It's all live, and we're still trying to do our very best. So I want to say a big thank you. Have a fantastic afternoon, and go and have a nice cup of tea, and go and have a nice lunch, I would say. So thanks, everybody. See you again soon. See some of you next week.
And happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas. I'm not even going there. Recording is stopped. Happy Christmas, IB.
Exactly.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.